What have we got today in the barn?
My new Tesla.
Alright, so here we are, episode 3 of In the Weekend. A little bit of a special today, Shane.
Yeah, I've been pumped for this one.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think going off it, Shane, when did you get this? When was the official date?
So the official date was December 22.
December 20. Oh shit. You got lucky.
Yeah.
Just before all the delays and all the things with Tesla.
Really lucky. Ordered it the first week of December.
Yeah.
I think it was about 20 days. Yeah, really lucky. Person cancelled their order and we were able to jump in and snag it.
So what was your deciding factor to move over to electric? Because obviously you've had your Mazda 3 for how many years did you have that Mazda?
2014. We bought it in 2015.
2015.
Yeah, 2014 model.
Yeah, so it's a good 7 years.
7-year-old car.
7-year-old car. It's done you well.
Great little car. Japanese engineering. Be sad to see it go.
Yeah.
Actually got someone hopefully lined up tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, to buy it. But
what was the deciding factor?
Deciding factor. Always had an appeal for an electric vehicle. There's something about it that
I think we've been talking about it for a while, haven't we?
For so long. And yeah, I think there was a few things that got it across the line at this point in time for us. Number one, the market for used cars at the moment is really crazy. So there's good resale value
on used cars.
Yeah, because even petrol cars and electric, there's not much stock coming into the country, so that's driving up used car prices. New South Wales government has some pretty good rebates, arguably.
Did that come in before or after you purchased?
The rebates?
Yeah.
Rebates came in, I think, October or September.
Okay. So
could be wrong on the timing, but that was sort of another thing in favour. So New South Wales, I think, arguably might be leading the country at the moment in terms of incentives.
Yeah.
We had just put solar on the house, and it's like it's something that really feels nice about being able to potentially, fuel up the car from sunshine.
Yeah.
Not that it's not that the sun's out at the moment, but yeah, they're probably the three main reasons. And also, I had a hunch it was going to be a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah. I think that was. I had been in the Tesla Model P100D before. I had never been in the Model 3 before. I think the first time I've seen it has actually been and actually sat in one is with Shane. So I think that was my first experience with the Model 3, but it's been good so far. So what was the buying experience like? How did you go about buying this car?
Yeah, it's for anyone that's been lucky enough to buy a new car before in a traditional dealer sort of model, totally different. So yeah, no haggling, no going into a showroom.
Had you looked at one before you bought one, or you hadn't? This was sight unseen.
Sight unseen. had never driven one. Had been in a friend's performance Model 3. And that was an experience.
Yes.
That's
right. Was it at the same time when you and I actually? I tell a lie. Yeah, it was Kurno's Model 3. We both sat in it the first time.
Kurno, good friend of the show.
He bought the Model 3 a while ago now.
Yeah.
Well, he's had it for about 6 months or so now.
Yeah, maybe even April or last year. But
the
that
American built ones.
Yeah. Fremont, is it?
Yeah, the Fremont factory ones, yeah.
So he took us through a bit of spin in that, and that far exceeded my expectations. I mean, that's just scary fast.
That was scary fast.
But, so this is the Standard Range Plus model, 2021.
Yeah.
It's not a unicorn. So unicorn model, I missed out by about 2 days, I think.
What's the unicorn model?
So unicorn model was where Tesla have left the original engine in there, doing the 5.4 0 to 100, but they put the new larger battery packs in there, so you get an extra 20 odd K.
What is the battery in these? 70 odd kilowatt?
Mine I think is 55.
50. Oh, okay, a bit smaller than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
Somewhere thereabouts.
Nice.
Can't actually remember. Actually, should know that.
That's all right.
Yeah. And
nice.
So not a unicorn. Missed out by about 2 days, but I'm still stoked.
Yeah. Well, had you kept your original order, because you did order one and then cancelled it?
Yeah. So actually, maybe taking a step further back, we had originally put an order down in October.
Yep.
I think it was around Halloween actually,
yeah.
and we decided against it because we thought we'll wait for the Model Y. There's all this talk on the forums and stuff that Model Y is going to land, it's imminent.
Yeah.
Here we are, 6 months later,
still
and
no
it's
sign of it.
still no sign of
Still
it.
no
But
sign.
with Giga Berlin opening, maybe Giga Shanghai will be able to start sending some more stock this way. But so we decided to pull the pin on it. We went for a road trip in the Mazda down to Melbourne from Sydney, and I think we actually, it's probably quite fitting because we filled up for about $2 a litre back then in early December.
Yeah.
And I mean,
well, look at the prices now, hey?
Yeah, well, I think that was kind of a tipping point, and my legend of a wife just said, let's just do it. We don't know when the Model Y is going to land. We can trade in if we find the sedan's not working for us, and the hatchback had done pretty well for us to date. So they've got the frunk or the fruit.
Fruit.
Yeah, your front fruit.
Okay.
And so now I think storage will be okay, and I still haven't done the mountain bike test in the back. That'll be.
I've got my mountain bike here. We can try.
Yeah, maybe we can do it. I don't know if we're about doing that today, but I will have to do that. But I've seen videos on YouTube, so I know it can be done.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But so we cancelled the order, and then on a whim, driving down. We were actually driving down when we were stopping at a cafe somewhere on our trip down to. I think we were in Wodonga or Albury at the time. And Andrew texted me and goes, and the weekend domain name is available. Do you want to,
You want in on a new adventure?
And I sent him a screenshot of our...
so it's quite fitting.
Of our order.
I had bought the domain for End the Weekend at the same time Shane had bought the Tesla.
Yeah, so... and we sort of kept this a bit of a surprise. I think just wanted to lead into, try and
absolutely
lead into it. But here we are. She's got about 2,500 Ks on her.
Yeah,
We've still got the second car, but we're going to hopefully within maybe tomorrow be back to a single car household with a pure electric.
So you've had the car for a little bit now, and I guess maybe we should go. What was your pickup experience like? How was dealing with Tesla once the delivery came in?
Yep.
How did that kind of work for people who probably haven't ordered a Tesla yet?
So I think I got sidetracked, but from the order it was purely online. So sight unseen, bought online. Because we had ordered pretty quick to when we were able to pick up. It was only a few weeks, so a couple of days out we had to transfer money through direct transfer to Tesla. They don't do bank check or anything like that, so that was pretty daunting sending that much cash.
Yeah. I was going to say, so you obviously didn't run it through their financing program. You paid up front.
Yeah, we paid up
your
front.
own finance.
Yeah, we used our own finance. So the mortgage is a little bit larger now, but interest rates are pretty good at the moment with home loans. So we did it that way. But Tesla finance actually isn't too bad. I think it's only about 3%.
Yeah, I think they've started going up now. I think a lot of the financing companies have started putting rates up. So I think you bought at the perfect time, like before all the delays came, before all the shipment issues came, before the price hikes. Like you've literally beaten it all. So well done. I applaud you, Shane.
Yeah, not planned that way, but I'm glad it's played out that way. So more good luck than good planning. But stoked to have it at this point in time. And
absolutely.
Like Andrew's been considering one, but now these delays throw a bit of a spanner in the works.
Yeah, and all the price hikes now, and even I mean a couple of articles on the page as well. We've talking about BYD and other electric manufacturers out there. They've even started raising their prices now too. So it's not really going in favour for electric cars at the moment.
No, we're hoping to start seeing some of these new players sort of drive prices down and get it to that that Camry price hopefully, and it'll happen. But maybe it's going to be another 6 or 12 months more than we thought.
So we're probably just going to finish the episode in here. Rain's picked up. It's a bit loud in the shed. So,
but double glazed windows in the Tesla are
they're definitely working.
Doing pretty good.
Much quieter in here. So, Shane, tell us about the rest of the experience when you picked up the car.
Yes, I think before we had to come in here, we were talking about the pickup experience, or about to go on to the pickup experience. So it was really good. About 3 days out from my pickup date, I got a text message to sort of tee things up. I was able to pick a few dates. I'm not sure what it's normally like. I had 3 options that week. It was the week before Christmas, so there might be more normally. But I was able to pick up 3 a morning or an afternoon. I linked up with a work Christmas party that I was going to be in the area for anyway. and was able to head in there. Tesla team met me at the concierge. Filled out, I don't even know, there wasn't much paperwork, just a little bit of a check-in process. And from there was taken down to the...
So they had all their money been received, they were all good, you literally just went in and picked it up.
Good point, yeah.
Did they give you an okay, you are ready to pick up now because we got the money kind of thing?
Yeah, they want all payment complete beforehand.
Yep.
Their app post, their website's pretty good. As you submit the money, because I did it in a couple of chunks.
Sure.
They update within the next day to show you how much is remaining and things like that, so you're able to easily tell how much you're owed.
Yep.
And went in there, they knew, showed some ID, proof who I was, and got taken down to the car park underground. Rows and rows of Teslas, a lot of empty bays actually, so I think they'd been getting rid of a fair few of them, but like a few other people there enjoying their pickup experience. I could give them maybe a 10-15 minute walk through the car. They helped us pair our phones with the car to use as the keys.
Yep.
And showing how to put it in drive, and away we went. It's
pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a little bit daunting the first time, and just inching out of the there. My wife had driven our other car in there, so she took that home and I drove it home myself. I think I only turned autopilot on, which is on the right stalk, which is what I'm normally used to for indicators. I think I only turned that on about six times on the way home. But I even managed to go into one of the Westfields nearby to test the supercharger. Nice.
And how's that experience? It's literally just pick up, plug it in, that's it?
It took me about 2 minutes to work out how to actually get it out of the
the
fitting station. Yeah, it was nothing technical. It was just firmly wedged in there, and I'm like, I don't want to break it. But once I worked that out, because they already had our credit card details on the app.
Yep.
Didn't have to do anything, just plugged it in. I was on about 90% charge at the time, and within a few minutes I'd done $2 or $3 worth of charging. Knew it was working, and that was good enough. So that was pretty fun. But really easy, the superchargers, when you can work out to actually unplug the thing from the unit.
Yeah, nice.
And managed to get her home okay, and really well.
So, and what was like? Obviously, there's a lot of the things that people talk about, and when you come to drive the car, you got things like the regenerative braking and the accelerating. Obviously, as soon as you're off the pedal, it's braking, right? That kind of stuff. How did you find that experience when going from a normal car, I guess, or ICE car over to electric?
Can't compare.
Yeah,
can't compare. Yeah. Like, the Mazda's I wouldn't call it a sporty hatch, but it was okay.
Yeah.
But like, there's just no comparison to the instant torque and acceleration the electric motor can give.
Yeah.
The regen braking,
and that's controlled in the settings on the Tesla, isn't it? You can kind of dial up and dial down the regen.
Three options I think for that. The lightest is keeping it close to, I guess, traditional car, and you'll be using the brake a lot more. I've got on the heaviest setting, which I had on the first trip on the way home.
Yeah.
Surprisingly intuitive. I reckon with the first 10-15 minutes I was used to it. Yeah. And the only time I've probably had to touch the brake on that first trip home was maybe on a little bit of a downhill. Yeah. And I I didn't take the foot off the accelerator quite enough, and had to just apply the brake just to give it a little bit more. But you adapt really quick to that regen braking, and it's hard to go back. I've tried to avoid driving the other car as much as possible, because I'll probably forget to use the brake. I'm sure I wouldn't, but it's really fun to drive. A few people have said, you get sick of the acceleration and stuff like that, and even in the entry-level model, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I've got to say, Shane's taken me for a drive, and it definitely goes better than I thought. I thought, being the entry model, it won't be that great. It's going to be drive like the Mazda I was expecting, but it really doesn't.
And it's got good go. Apparently, it's not far off even the long range when you're already rolling. It's just the launch where the all-wheel drive
initial grip
models really, really go. But if you need to take over someone on the freeway or anything like that, it's just it'll go going up hills. Like you can feel the car struggle a little bit, but it's not like a petrol car struggling or finding the right gear or anything like that. Like just put a little bit more on the accelerator, and it doesn't slow down on hills like.
Well, it's instant torque, instant power with the electric motor, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the important question that everyone likes to talk about is range. You've taken this on a couple of long trips now.
Yep.
How's the range? Like we're talking about entry level. I mean, I guess let's start off with what does Tesla claim the range is on this model?
Oh, I'll have to send you a photo of the. I think it's.
Well, we'll put it up on the screen.
We'll put it on the screen, yeah.
But it's about 420, is it?
So, per the tripometer or in the battery indicator in the car, it says 423.
Yeah.
So this is a standard range. 2021, the latest models are showing about 440 or thereabouts. But in terms of real world, we've never really pushed it more than 350, 320, I think. I would probably get close to 420 in ideal conditions.
What's the lowest you've run the battery down to?
17%.
17%. So you've still got heaps in it for that. And what kind of kilometres were you at when you did that?
In terms of range left?
I guess how much did
day?
you use when you got down to that 18%?
Yeah, I think it was about 300 odd.
So you probably
was that trip we went to the beach, Copacabana, I forget how far up that was, but I feel it was around the 300k mark, and we were stuck in traffic for an hour.
That's the beauty. When this car's not moving, you're not using fuel, right? Or fuel.
And because we were on the freeway, it's probably actually more efficient because we're probably only doing 60 or 70 at times, and then stop.
And I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to these electric cars is they're where you have our traditional ICE cars. I think their efficiency kind of comes at highway speeds. You get like maximum efficiency. I know in the Rex, if I'm taking it on the highway, I can get it down to as low as 7.5, 7.7, something like that when it comes to highway driving. But obviously my plotting around town to town, I'm getting 9.5, 9.6 is kind of like what I average at. These cars definitely they get their best range at about 60 to 80 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, anything over, I think, anything over 90 and the efficiency starts to drop off. Still not bad, and obviously still better than petrol, but it's sort of the opposite. It's city driving and stop-start, perfect for an electric car. The regen braking is just feeding it straight back into the battery every time you brake. But on a freeway, particularly once you get outside of busy areas, you're not stopping much on a freeway, hopefully. So that first trip when we got stuck in traffic, I'll admit, I had a little bit of range anxiety. I was like, are we going to have to top up there? And when we ended up getting to Copacabana, I think it was about 60%. So I knew I'd got there with 40%. We left at 100% because this model is well suited to charging to 100% with the lithium phosphate batteries. So I knew we were okay. I had Sentry mode on, so I was worried how many events is that going to have, how much battery.
And it has that keeping the cabin cool as well, so that eats into your range too, doesn't it?
And I had that on that day because it was hot, and that also consumed some batteries. I think when we got back to the car, we were around 55, 56%. So Sentry mode and the cabin protection hadn't used that much. Managed to get home with 17%, and
but 17%, I imagine that's probably 80 to 100 k's in real world range, right? So I think they probably built in a bit of safety. I mean, you'll probably have to do the testing for us and let us know, but I get the feeling that what they say you get range versus what real world range you get is probably a tiny bit more. They build in a bit of safety into it.
Reading online, I think there's an extra 40 to 50 k's most people. I think it's similar to a petrol car where even when the petrol goes fully empty from the indicator, you still got another bit of reserves. I'm not planning to try to push it too much. There's a few people on YouTube that do the extreme battery
we'll let them do that.
That's we've done one really long road trip down to Bright in Victoria, which is around 1300 k round trip.
And the short range version didn't impede that trip. Didn't end the weekend.
Didn't end the weekend. Didn't impede the trip. My wife and I like to stop every 2 hours anyway. Thereabouts 2.5, and that was perfect for us.
You went down the main highway on the way down. We found there was enough charging infrastructure.
Yes, we used a mixture of the NRMA chargers and the Tesla superchargers. The reason I use NRMA is because we're still a member, and they had a discount.
Yeah. Okay.
So Tesla's charging about 51, 52 cents a kilowatt hour, and NRMA I think was around 32 cents.
Right, so slightly cheaper for the power.
Yeah, so roughly we're spending about...
They support supercharging still. It's just not the official Tesla supercharging, or
with the NRMA.
With the NRMA,
yeah, it's they're still, I think they're 350 kilowatt. They're ultra fast chargers.
Yeah.
They also have 50 kilowatt normally on the same bay.
Yeah. Okay.
And the 50 kilowatts were free. Actually, I didn't realize that at the time because stopping for lunch.
I was going to ask as well, like availability. Like you turned up and there was plenty of charging bays available for you.
Yeah, we never had to wait for a bay at the moment. Obviously, that might change over time, and hopefully infrastructure will keep up.
Yeah.
But we on the way down, we opted to take every charging stop, ultra fasting charger that was an option to us, just in case. First long road trip, didn't want to be that person running out of juice.
Can't exactly fill up a fuel canister, right?
No, and it might take a little while from a normal PowerPoint if we could, find one. But that's still an option, right?
Yeah.
But it would take a lot longer to charge up that way. So, yeah, we drove down and used the ultra fast chargers on the way, and surprisingly, I found they were charging too quick. It might sound a bit... But in terms of the stops we wanted to do and stuff like that, I was actually getting anxious that maybe someone else wants to come use it. And, it was...
I think I read somewhere that Tesla started charging if you leave your car in a charging bay. Are they doing that here in Australia, where if you leave your car in a bay and it's 100% full, is there a parking fee? Or?
Not yet, but I think that'll have to come in at some point, just to sort of try and encourage better etiquette. But yeah, I think... maybe it is, but I haven't seen that in any of the...
I think it was more America is when I was reading that stuff. But Awesome. So here we are again in the Tesla, and it's definitely a roomy, different experience to a normal car. It's definitely, minimalist, I guess, is the look.
Probably the perfect word for it. There's compared to most other cars, they normally have a whole lot going on with dials and physical controls and things like this, but there's 2 buttons on the steering wheel, and gear selector and indicator.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
I actually don't mind the wood grain finish too. It feels nice. The materials feel good. I think it's definitely not a real leather. It's that vegan leather.
I think they call it vegan leather. Yeah.
It definitely, but it doesn't feel terrible. The type of materials, like the sides, don't feel very hard and harsh. The seating, even the seat itself, is very comfortable. It's definitely... I feel like the seating position itself is very different to a normal car too. I feel like we're probably a bit more forward than we would be in a normal car, is my feeling. But this glass roof, I love this glass roof too. I've got a sunroof in the WRX, and I love my glass roof. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the glass roof is pretty impressive. The Model Y even more impressive because I don't have this bar
right in the middle
here,
nice.
But not an option for us yet.
Yeah. How do you find with the sun, when on a hot day with the sun belting down on you, you find the roof is enough, or do you find you still want to try and escape the sun?
Look, I tend to drive with a hat on. But we done a long trip to Bright in Victoria, about 1,300k round trip, and most of it was driving middle of the day, and didn't find it too bad. Probably find the AC a little weak, but that could also be because my wife doesn't let me put it on very
But honestly, even in the Rex, I think it seems to be, I don't know if it's just modern cars, the AC, they just don't size them correctly. I think maybe Australia, we're probably more acclimatized to a more hotter summer than a typical car. Typical country. I think we definitely get pretty hot. In our summers when it's belting hot, we didn't have a really hot summer this year. But
not much of a summer at all, actually.
Yeah, we normally have the hottest I think we've had, especially out Penrith Way. They had the hottest day ever, which was I think 48 or 49 degrees on the hottest day. So I don't think too many cars will do too well in that kind of heat anyway.
Yeah, so pretty extreme.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it. I see you got a big speaker bar right at the front. It feels like a good size in the back. If I were to compare this to the Rex, I would probably put it in a similar size. I think if I'm looking at the back there, the rear looks like it just comes over your head a little bit more. So I think if you're a taller person, It may not be as comfortable, but to me, I mean, honestly, I don't feel
There's plenty of headroom
there's
here.
plenty of headroom here.
I think even fairly tall people would probably be okay. It's probably,
yeah, I just think in the back there.
Yeah,
It's probably the only thing.
yeah, some of our tall friends might struggle in the back.
Shall we have a quick look in the back and we'll see what's going on back there?
Yep.
All right. Have you sat in your back of your car yet?
I haven't actually. It's the first.
I was going to say, it's not too often that you sit in the back of your car when it comes to these things, but yeah, look, sitting at the back, I think it's very comfortable. I think if there was a third person in the middle here, it would probably be on the little bit uncomfortable side.
Yeah, I remember in our friend's car, he had a baby seat
that's right.
in, and my wife was in the middle, I was on the outside, and we were shoulder playing corners.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the kind of room we're talking with. I mean, head height, I mean, I can fit my hand above my head. Definitely towards the back. My hand is hitting the back.
Yeah, probably about an inch, I think, from the hat. But how do you find I find my knees actually quite high.
Yeah, I guess because you don't have the traditional tunnel in the middle. I mean, yeah, man, it feels okay. I feel comfortable, like moving my feet forward. I mean, this seems to be like this is the position you drive in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, I mean, it's plenty of, not that you see it on the camera, but I've probably got half a hand between my knees and the seat. I think that's fine. I mean, little
Drink holder.
armrest / drink holder.
Big parcel tray.
And can you get to the boot from it, or you have to pull the seats down?
I think I've got to pull the seats down, so no crawling through.
No crawling space. Nice.
Yeah, pretty comfortable. Yeah, not sure how I'd go on a long trip like this. I'd probably be asking the driver in front to
Move forward a bit.
If they could.
Yeah.
But,
two USB-Cs on the back. Very modernised.
Probably be handy for kids charging their
Phone and stuff.
devices.
Yeah, I'd probably call this a 4-person car with 5 as an option. But I mean, look, honestly, my experience has been the same with even the WRX. I would call the 4-person car with 5 if you had to.
Yeah, in a pinch, maybe not for
a
long trip.
Not for a long trip, but yeah, I think 4 you would fit comfortably in here.
You get a nice view from the back, from the roof.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I really do like the panoramic glass roof. It is nice. It's quite nice.
It's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, final thoughts. You've had the car for a while, and you've enjoyed it. You put 2,000 Ks on it. What's your verdict on the Tesla?
Yeah, look, I really rate it. I can see why they're doing so well.
Yep.
Obviously, being first to market at scale comes with some advantages, but yeah, there's a lot of good things there. A few things that I do miss a little bit, like I do miss the heads-up display. The speedo's in the top right of the screen. It's not bad, but I do find taking it rise up the road a little bit more than I'm used to. There's a few things I'm not sure about, like how when you do open the door, the windscreen, or the windows pop down just a little bit. I'm just worried about longevity of things like that. Love the driving experience. I love the feel of the car.
You've never been a real car guy, but honestly, the feeling I get from talking to you is you've become a car guy because of this car.
Become an electric car guy. It's really fun to drive. Even just normal day-to-day driving. Not that we've done a lot of that yet because we've still got the other car.
Yep.
So once we get rid of that, then we become back to a single car household.
Yep.
That'll be different, and putting it in situations that we're protecting it from at the moment, like the shops and things. So
yeah, unfortunately, that'll be unavoidable. When I first got the Rex, same thing. I got a copter door ding. I mean, it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
I mean, my only advice to people who love their car that don't want to avoid that kind of stuff: try and park where people don't normally park. Park in the back. Be that person. Park in the back right of the car park to avoid, trolleys, to avoid people, to avoid, I'm
happy to walk.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if that's unavoidable, my biggest tip is just park. Make sure you're parked within the lines as well as you can be.
Yeah.
Because if you're parked right, generally, you won't cop those dings. But if you're not parked right, I think you open yourself up to a little bit more.
Yeah, probably true. And
I
guess reduce the risk where possible. But yeah, I love charging it from the solar at home. And that's
big cost saving there. That's not even using electricity to charge up the car at the moment. Right?
I've worked it out. So I guess by charging from solar, and we'll go into this more in another episode, but I've worked it out roughly. That's probably costing us about $2 to fill up.
$2.
Yeah, so that's our feed-in tariff that we're forfeiting,
Yeah.
putting it into the car instead of
Yeah,
feeding it
instead
to the
of
grid.
feeding-
So,
yeah,
but yeah, it might be harder coming into winter for us to charge at home as
Might have to
much.
start pulling from the grid in that case.
Yeah, might have to start pulling from the grid, which will probably cost us $8 to $10, maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, still much better than petrol right now.
Yeah.
And the government maybe might bring in some relief.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be anywhere near
Yeah.
being able to charge up from that. But obviously, the large outlay, so it might not financially stack up.
Yeah.
To spend an extra $30K more on a car than you would.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it's getting better. If you've got solar, if you like the driving experience, or you just feel like maybe you want to be part of the early adopter
Early
phase.
adopters, yeah. I think there is some benefit to being the early adopters, but yeah, look, I mean, it's time to go. I mean, I know my own father keeps talking about wanting to buy an electric car after seeing your car and kind of thing. So I'm hoping that he will buy something soon. But my dad's a massive procrastinator, so look, I don't see him getting a new car anytime soon.
But if he does, we might be able to do a bit of a test drive
Yes,
on it.
yeah.
And, so we might keep the pressure on him a little bit. And just,
Yeah.
hey, how are you going, Joe? With that.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Exactly.
I managed to convince one guy from work
Nice.
already, so paying it forward after I was, in turn convinced.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
I think we'll see how it goes, but we're going to start seeing a lot more of them.
Yeah, there's definitely, and you know what? That's definitely one thing I've noticed on the road is you see a lot more Teslas now than even 6 months ago. Like, it's incredible. Like, I don't know if it's just me because I know you have one now, and you see the cars that you kind of want. You see them on the road a bit more, but it's definitely noticeable. There's definitely a lot.
I actually
more
saw one of
on the
these,
road.
the same one,
Oh, yeah?
on the way over here
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
So
nice.
it's good. They are becoming a lot more common. So, and hopefully we're only a few years off them, really kicking off.
Well, I think that's all we have time for. Join us for our next episode when we decide what we're going to do with that. We might do a video online, so keep an eye out on the YouTube as well. We might do a video on a first test drive. And I think Shane might throw me the keys. I guess keys, not really a key these anymore. But
I'll let him sit in the front seat with my phone,
and I'll let you know how that feels to what I'm used to. So keep an eye out on those, and I guess we'll catch you at the next one.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to end the weekend.